Well, it's Saturday of the second week here. So yesterday I ran out of snow down where I was, so I ended up having to do a little repair on my ram charger. So I did that, and up high there's a little bit of snow. It's just about an inch maybe, but it's supposed to stay cold today and it's windy, and we'll see what we can do. Try to pick up a track up in here, high country. And it's around the 10th, I think, of the month, so it's still, they're not rutting too much yet. They're starting to ram pretty good, but if we can pick up an old boy looking for his doe. Well, I've been about, I don't know, a mile and a half probably. Just cutting straight across the back of the mountain here. Down pretty low where there was some deer, but run out of snow down low. It's just a skiff, so I pulled up, hit this old road, was walking that, and I just cut a pretty good track. And it's made later in the night after it froze up. It was damp and wet there right up until, oh, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And then it started freezing up. Not that cold today, about 25, but anyway, I'm gonna get on this buck. It looks like a pretty good one here, so we'll see where he goes, see if I can catch up to him. Well, he walked the road a little bit, and then there was a couple more deer tracks, and he got interested in a doe and a little fella here along the edge, and now he's headed down in this crap. It's all it's hard because the snow's not covering everything. Grass, a little bit of bare ground under the trees, but I gotta just pick slow because it's not real old, so they might not be too far if he stayed with this doe. Well, he chased a couple of does around in there, and they were still in there. I jumped them. I see the running tracks. Made about 6 circles down in there, and that brush and stuff. And finally I circled back up and hit that old road. And that's what he did. He went down in there and chased him around. Then he come back up. He's headed high now, which is better. Boy, the snow was thin in there, but he just stopped here and thrashed in some willow brush here. I'll show you that. He keeps hooking in this willow brush here. I'll show you what that looks like. That one, first one he thrashed pretty good, but 2 or 3 others here, he's just tickling. That's what I call hookings, not really a rub, just thrashing around here. Well, he struck right off cross country here on a mission, but it's alright. He just made a scrape here. That's probably what he's going to do. He knows where there's some more does, and that's where he's headed. Yep, he's laying down them scrapes pretty good. gonna hustle right along. I think it's made later in the night. I don't know. This is one a couple hours old. There was some ice in the tracks there that was not very thick, so I'm gonna hustle along here. See where I catch up. He started, he's in these old cuts here. He started feeding a little bit, so we'll see what's gonna go on here. It's pretty open in here, but been nipping around pretty good. Well, he picked up another doe. Following her along here. Starting to make scrapes again. One right here. I can see another one just ahead, so pretty horned up. Yeah, he just did a crazy thing. He was basically heading off to the west, straight line, and been a few miles. He followed, there was a couple of doe tracks there, and he abruptly turned off them, cut downhill a couple 100 yards, and headed right back to the east the way he was coming. Down a little bit lower. Hope he don't go too low and get out of this snow, but gotta keep going now. Well, he's dropped down in kind of some lower ground, some old cuts. It's pretty whippy and goldenrod and stuff in here, but there's a little bunch of deer in here, so I had to slow down. I'm just almost kind of still hunting it now because it's noisy in here, and I got to keep an eye on the track. So I'll just poke here. A little rough. It's spotty snow here. Can't believe what just happened here. I got down right completely out of the snow, down in some beaver bogs, and I just couldn't, the only thing I was following, I kept circling, and I'd hit another scrape, and the track had freshened up. Bunch of does in there, round and round. So I decided to pull up, back up out of that soft wooden grass and see if I could get into some snow and then cut a circle above all of that mess. And I get up here, and I was coming up, there's a little trickle brook in there. I was coming up that, and the wind was blowing pretty good. I just got up into the hardwoods, sneaking up along the edge of that brook, and I looked up ahead. I see this buck walking up the ridge, a good 100 yards up there. He's kind of walking away from me, and I could see a rack all right at that distance, and he looked like a big square-bodied deer, so I had to move ahead a little bit, and he disappeared, and I snuck ahead a little bit, and he had turned, and he swung kind of broadside again. I put it right on him. The bead almost covered him. I fired, and he dropped right there, so I ran up, because I don't like it when they drop that quick. Sometimes they're just stunned to something in the spine, so I ran up. When I did, there was a doe there, and she took off. Hadn't seen the doe before. And so anyways, when I got up over the hill, I could see him kind of hobbling away. I had to try to get around. Finally I got around. I got one into him, and he dropped right here. He's a beautiful buck. Big, dark, square thing there. Oh, what a day. I was a little discouraged about this snow, but you can't get that way. You gotta keep at it. You gotta keep hunting, and good Lord was really with me today, shining down, and I was thinking about that all day. Thinking ahead, we're not supposed to get much snow, and for the next week or so, still got to get my grandson out. So anyway, let me show you this buck here. He's a beauty. Kind of got a broken brow point, but he's pretty thick, but he's a short buck. I don't know if he's gonna, looking at him there, I don't know if he's gonna go 200, but it's okay. Got him anyways. All right, here he is. My 2023 Maine buck. Once again, God was shining down on me today. Give me this nice buck. Very little snow. I've been working this track for first thing this morning. Probably about an hour into it. I got onto him and shot him at 11 o'clock. Picking and picking and picking in this little bit of snow and just sticking with it. And like I said, I had to make a quick decision. I see him walking up over the ridge in front of me there, and I could see a rack. It's not quite as big as I'd like it to be, but who cares? Got him, and it's just one of the funnest hunts I've had in a long time, just working hard at it, picking around and sticking with the track. So it's a beautiful buck. He's fat, big thick neck on him, but he's a real short deer. See, weighs 200. He does. If he don't, he don't. I don't care. I get the rest of the season to take my grandson, Rylan, try to get him a buck, and who knows, maybe I'll scoot off somewhere else if there's snow anywhere. But so I got a ways to get him out of here, so I'm going to eat my sandwich. I was just thinking about it a while back before I shot this thing. I was thinking about sandwich. I come by a nice brook there, and so I'm going to get my sandwich and get him dressed out, figure out the best way to get him out of here.